The golden jester knows a joke so funny it will kill you. It is known across the land, and for this her services are always in request. She rides around the countryside in a lush and gold-trimmed carriage to the sprawling estates and grand manors of the wealthy benefactors who keep her comfortable. As she looks out from her carriage, she will see the starving in the streets, the masses, seemingly forgotten, desperately trying to keep afloat, surrounded by the weak bodies and dreary eyes of those who have already drowned, the peasants and the vagrants. She will look at them, and she will think of those noble men and women in the castle, and she will wonder why no one helps. She will wonder why it is she who was chosen to be showered with the goodwill and charity of the elite and not the common man. She will think these thoughts, but she will not judge. She will not digest the puzzle for too long, lest she find the dark heart at its core, for as she passes she will toss coins to begging children and do nothing more. Who is she to judge those who employ her, those who have kept her so much better than the rest? She is not so different in many ways. She will move by the town, the children will fight over the coins, and in a house nearby another child dies to sickness. The manor is vast and beautiful. Each of its finely carved stones are more valuable than each of the houses she passed. Around it stand shiny soldiers, with shiny toys they use to protect the stones. They will look inside the carriage to confirm there is no one else. Only the jester will be inside, and she will wear a long red robe which will cover her entire body, and a pure gold mask in the shape of a large, laughing face. The mask hides behind it a cold and quiet expression. The robes hide a scarred and burned body. She will be welcomed inside and make her way to the hall. There will be introductions and conversations and food and revelry. Other lesser jesters will perform, and her presence will be such that they will fumble their juggling balls and forget their punchlines. In the end, there will be few to see her performance. There will be no pattern to those who stay. She has told the joke to the young and old, to the joyful and the solemn. She once told the joke to a young boy who sat upon his mother's lap. She will think of that often, but less so as time goes on. She will not know why they want to die. She will think that it may be they are sick of their wealth, that their greed and their money and their status has elevated them beyond happiness. She will think it is perhaps impossible to be truly happy like this, to live off the suffering of others, to have every whim fulfilled. Perhaps that is why they employ her. Then again, she will think perhaps they do not want to die. They simply want to hear the joke. They have had in this life all they could have, and now want the only thing that's left. Perhaps they do not fully grasp what it is to die. She will think maybe they are truly so sheltered by their coin. Still, she will tell it. She will become animated as she does so. Her delivery is perfect and practiced. She will finish with a bow, and as they begin to laugh, she will reach into her hood and lower a red veil. It is thick, so that she will not see. She will hear, though. She will hear them die. Everywhere people are dying. In the streets they starve, and they kill one another, and disease rots them from the inside out. Here in the castles they are laughing, and laughing into oblivion. She will travel the kingdom, and she will see death everywhere. People die more than they live. She will be unable to name a cause, and incapable of stopping it, but she will know, somewhere, deep down, this is only the beginning of the end. She will remove the veil and leave the room. She will hope that death by laughter is a better end than they would have met otherwise. She will hope that she is a blessing, not a curse. They will load up chests full of gold, assigned in the wills of those who listen to her. The dead are generous to some, and to others they will forever be cruel, because they know they can no longer be retaliated against. She will think of her own time in the farmlands. As she leaves, she will remember her family and the great fields she worked in. She will remember her brother, older and larger, who one day looked up at her and told her a joke. She will remember how he laughed and laughed, how he choked on his own laughter, and how she could not save him. She will recall how she ran to her family for help, but it was too late, and when she recounted what happened, the same fate befell them. She will remember how word spread, how people came to her, how for so long she was called a witch, how they tortured her, prepared to kill her. As she rides in her gilded carriage on her way home, she will no longer be a witch. Perspectives will have shifted, and a use will have been found for her, but the scars will still itch at night. She will go home to the great manor of her own, and there she will remove her garb and rest. She will spend her time trying not to think of her work or the world beyond her walls. She will talk with people she calls her friends, and some will ask her about the joke. And they will ask how it is that where all others have died, she remains. How she can hear and repeat the joke so often and survive. And if she is feeling truthful, she will tell them that she just doesn't think it's that funny.